Morning, folks. This morning soap is brought to us by Yulay, and the name of this one here is Elf Balls. Yes, this one here is like a Christmas type scent. It's got orange and clove and some spice scent to it. It comes in a 2-ounce variety. I've had it for a little bit, so that's what it looks like now. I've taken a few scoops out of this one here, but it's a, a Christmas type scent. And I got it paired up with the aftershave I'm using is called the Nog, another Christmas scent. Holidays are coming up, and I've got some Oktoberfest scents too. But at any rate, man, you should like this one here. Also got the alum block from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements with no rubber band this morning. When I got this brand new, it had a blue rubber band to it, and that my alum block is much too small for the rubber band nowadays. And this is Humphrey's Witch Hazel. This one here was unscented when I got it, and it's a 16-ounce container. It's pretty good size. Now it's got menthol as well as peppermint in here, and I got it just perfect. It's not overwhelming. It's there for you. I can notice it, but it, like I say, it's not over the top. Did a pretty good job sorting this one out. That's pretty proud of myself on that one there. I thought I'd mess it up. Anyway, blade of the day is going to be a feather blade, and I have it in a Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is the double uppercomb DOC. I have been shaving with this shaver for about a week and a half. Things have been quite busy here at the house, and I'll get in more details on that here in a moment. But I've got it whipped up here in a smooth bottom thrift store fine bowl. That's what it looks like there, and it's whipped up with a Envy Shave brush that was made for a Facebook group called Shavette World. That's what it looks like there on the bottom. And a tuxedo knot in is what's in there. You can't see it, but yeah, it's wet. Not quite drippy, but it is wet, yogurt style, if you will. You can kind of tell things are things are busy at the house. Anyway, I've already put a hot towel to the face, and for the Preshave oil that I use doubles as a beard oil. It's from Stirling, and I've been using it for quite a while, and it seems to help out quite a bit on the post-shave feel. I'd have to say my face has felt a lot different on the post-shave using the beard oil that doubles as a pre-shave oil, or vice versa, depending on your situation. Speaking of beard care, I have been using the Lea Beard Serum, and the one thing that I really do like about this particular product here is one of the things I like. To me, makes a big difference is the container. This particular container, it may be kind of hard to see right there, that there's a place here where you can turn it and it locks that, and you can't push down on it. In other words, great for travel. Then when you're ready to use it, just turn it and it's unlocked. I really appreciate that. And it comes in a clear version. There's not a tint to it, so if you have a beard like mine that's mostly white, gray, works out well for the color of the beard. But that we're getting ready to travel. The reason why I bring all this up is my son earlier this week had went to Orlando for his band, Pride of Broken Arrow, and they went to Orlando to the regionals, and they won regionals. And now that he got back basically early Tuesday morning, we got back in the house at 3 in the morning, and on Tuesday morning, and Wednesday he has tests at work at school that he had to go take, and now he's going to super regionals in St. Louis, and wife and I, we're going to be driving to St. Louis to see him perform in St. Louis. And it's about a 6-hour drive. I think probably closer to 7, maybe 7.5, depends on how many stops we have to make. Did notice, according to Google, there's about 5, maybe 6 different places along the way where there's going to be construction. So yeah, there's going to be it could really delay us, depends on the situation. You know, if you ever been through busy construction sites on a highway, sometimes there's accidents and that just compounds the problem. It just turns into a parking lot. But between my wife and I, we've been busy, tired, running every which way, trying to stay on top of everything that's going on, not only in the house, but get my son everywhere he needs to go and things organized to go to the regionals. Now we're getting ready to go to the super regionals, and yeah, it's been quite busy. That and been sick in between, my wife and I, between all that, so it's been quite exciting. I should mention about the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements DOC double open comb. This shaver is a very unique shaver. The handle itself is about 3 inches long, if you're wondering about how short it is. And you could always take that and swap it out if you wanted to. It works out well for me, but my hands are not exactly the biggest in the world, so you might want to swap it out. I have been using the feather blade this whole entire time. Works well for me. One blade, I stopped at 5 shaves. I decided not to push it any further. Not that I was getting a bad shave on the 5th one. I just decided that's all the further I wanted to go. Didn't want to get a bad shave, in other words. So my conclusion with this particular shaver is not only is it a mild shaver, it does a really nice job of leaving slickness behind, some shaving cream behind. And so in other words, if you're a person that goes over a place several times during your shave, or if you like buffing, this is an awesome shaver to do so. Not only that, not saying you can't cut yourself with this shaver, but it does a good job of, I can say, not giving you a real good opportunity to cut yourself. It is a mild, not the most efficient shaver. Not saying you can't get a BBS, but you have to work at it to get it. At least for me, I do. It's you know, you do. It's definitely, if you're a buffer, this is an excellent shaver for you. I would say also something to point out is, as I rinse this out in the sink, you want to give it a few good shakes, because it has a tendency to retain water, holds it inside there. So when you go back for your next stroke, a lot of water might come out. If you don't like the stuff dripping every which direction, you definitely want to give it a good shake. With excuse me, I guess you might say life being as busy as it has been, this has been a really good shaver for this week. Easy to shave with. The learning curve, I guess, if you have not used to buffing, that would be something that you might want to pick up on, take some time to learn. Not saying that you have to buff with this one, but I think you'll appreciate the shave better. It'll be a closer shave. At least that's been my experience. Been thinking about taking it with me to St. Louis, because it is such an easygoing shaver. The shave, when I get done, looks just like any other shave. That's, in other words, even with an R41, you can't see the difference, but I know I can feel the difference. Like I said, it leaves plenty of residual slickness behind. I mean, you can kind of tell that's what it was designed to do, was to leave some behind. So that if you enjoy doing the buffing or going over the same place several times, whatever your style of shaving is, it definitely will leave plenty of slickness behind. could almost say it'd be one of those shavers that would be perfect for somebody that has a light beard growth. It would be easy to get a quick and comfortable shave with it. Not everybody, in other words, has a thick beard growth, especially in case you might some of the younger shavers that still, you know, the hair still coming in, may not need anything that's super efficient, just something that's smooth and comfortable. And this shaver here would be, I would say, on that list of shavers to use. Trying to get something in my eye there. Of course, that usually does happen. There for a while, it was every time my hands would get wet, my nose would start to itch. But I'm thinking about taking this one with me because it is such an easygoing shaver. In other words, my risk of getting a nick, irritation, it's been so easy to use in 5 shaves with a feather blade. For me, that says a lot. And it does have just a little bit of feedback, not a whole lot. Five shaves on one blade, that's a pretty good shave. These two scents are, oh, how can you say, definitely sets the mood going into, in other words, October, Oktoberfest, and then you got Thanksgiving coming up in November, and then you have Christmas holidays, the January 1st into the new year. Now, if I remember right, Monica has, I think, 3 new Christmas soaps. If I remember right, she sells them in a 3-pack. She has one that's called Fresh Tree, if I remember right. That'll be like pine, kind of give you that Christmas type vibe to it. And this one here is a vegan soap, if that matters to anybody. She has a wide variety of soap bases. It could be vegan, and whatever that is right there is not going away. Tallow, emu oil, I can't remember all of them. She's got several that you can choose from, if that matters to anybody. This one here is vegan, and I can tell the difference in between the vegan and the tallow, but is it enough to say I prefer one over the other? Not really. I enjoy them. They shave just fine, at least for me. She does a good job with her soap bases and her scents. I've got a lot of lather whipped up here. I knew that this shaver was going to be mild, but I didn't realize it was going to be to the point where the shaves would be so easy going that by the time you get done, even using a feather blade on this 5th shave, I didn't feel like I was getting any risk of irritation or anything like that, which is, like I say, in between the blade and this shaver, that I think that's a pretty good match for me. But it says a lot for it. Now there's different versions of this that Douglas has. You pick the one that works, that you think is going to work best for you. For me, start out with this one. I really like it. For certain situations, I think it'll be a great shaver. In other words, going to St. Louis, I'm not looking for anything that's R41. I can get a close shave, But if some reason or another I have problems with the water and the soap cooperating, I really don't want that sort of shave happening on the road. Another one probably that'd be a good one to take on the road would be a Edwin Jagger DE89. This one here though, it works just fine for me. It really does give me that impression that you just about have to work at it. At least I would have to cut myself or to get a bad shave out of it. Like I said, it's not the most efficient. It's a mild shaver. I think that's the reason why, you know, it's designed to buff with, to go over a place over and over. So in other words, I guess you might say that would help you not only get a smooth and comfortable shave, but you can get a close one if you really wanted to, I guess you might say, learn how to buff. Because there's really not much left. It's a pretty close shave, but the biggest difference is where I notice it at is at the end of the day. At the end of my day, I've got more of a whisker feel than what I normally would, say like out of, well, most of my other shavers. I would say even more so than a DE89. I think that's the reason why a feather blade lasting 5 shaves and still feel very comfortable. I think that speaks a lot to the shaver and the way it was made. Just something to think about that maybe not had crossed most folks' mind when they looked at this and heard that it was a mild shaver, and maybe they decided they didn't want it. And then after you give it some thought, if you're looking at being on a budget, trying to get the most out of your blades, feather blades not being cheap to begin with, and then you getting that many shaves, you know, 5 or so shaves out of one blade, drives that cost of that feather blade down, and they're smooth and comfortable. And the first shave and the 5th shave, they felt the same, which, you know, like I say, I just kind of was quite surprised that that sort of thing, they got that kind of result out of the shave. But it is a shaver that, like I said, you will have to get used to buffing if you're going to want to get a really close shave. But it does afford you that opportunity to, like I've got that strip of hair that grows right through here, just to, you know, you can keep on working at it without having to relather and not risk irritation. Not that, to me, that's a big bonus. Peppermint to go along with this one. It just fits. Now with Van Yulay's aftershave, it's not alcohol based, and in other words, it's witch hazel, and you do have to give it a good shake before you use it in order to mix up all your products. That's what this one looks like. They come in different kind of, I guess you might say, colors, and it's not unusual that whatever is in here will separate, and some may settle to the bottom. It's just one of those kind of aftershaves that you give a good shake. Comes in a plastic container, so makes it a little bit more comfortable taking on the road than taking glass. By the way, I should mention, that was my egg. This eggnog smells great, just like eggnog. I should say the name of the nog. That was my son's first airplane ride, so it was kind of exciting for him. So, in case you might say, the realization, how big is that overhead compartment? What all you're trying to put into an overhead compartment along with everybody else that's on that plane. Pretty good stuff here. The eggnog and the orange from the soap. Definitely smell the eggnog. This is a really nice shave. Anyway, this is getting a little bit long. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to record a shaving video from the hotel or not. I've seen pictures of the bathroom. Don't know if it's hospitable or not for this sort of thing. In other words, the back it goes way back into the room, so the lighting might be a little different. But I don't know. I think I might just wait till I get back to the house. At any rate, hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.